paper bag, Chapter 11.
My eyes closed for the 100th time.
You've read that page 3 times. Go to bed.
But I have to find out what a white poison is.
Jack, you are too tired to get anything out of that book. Go get some sleep.
Okay, I said and yawned loudly. I took the book with me. When my head hit my pillow, I didn't open my eyes until I heard my Aunt Cass yelling.
You let him bring that crazy old man here.
It was my fault Eddie was in trouble, so I ran to the living room to bail him out. Cass, I'm sorry. I didn't think you would mind.
He did something to the cameras, didn't he?
What do you mean?
Those security cameras are in your mother's room, so we can keep an eye on her. What if someone broke into her room and attacked her?
We were in there. He said it wouldn't last very long.
So, he did do something to them.
She slammed a cell phone on the counter.
I got this for you. Last night I couldn't get a hold of either of you to go check on your mother. We came back early because we thought something had happened. I don't want that dirty old man in my house again. Do you hear me, Eddie?
I'm sorry. I hung my head. Eddie shouldn't be watching over me anyway, Cass. I'm an adult and don't need a babysitter. Where were you last year? When I was all alone? I yelled.
It was for your safety.
What are you worried about now, Cass? Is some dragon going to come in here and steal me away? I don't think JP Pharmaceutical even knows about this place. Nor do I think they would dare come into a dragon's den. I was going to lose my temper, so I walked out of the room. I'll be in my mother's room if you care to yell at me further. I found my mother in the nursery rocking Rose again. Mom, how long are we going to stay at Aunt Cass's house? I think I've overstayed my welcome.
She is mad about you having Salty over.
Yes, I didn't see any harm in it. Besides, I stopped talking. My mother held out a hand to me. I pulled a chair next to her. She pulled me close to her in an embrace. With her mind, she talked to me.
Don't say anything about what Salty brought you. His gifts are between you and him.
She let me go. I changed the subject and talked normally. When can we move into our own house? Eddie told me that the house on the other side of the river is ours.
It was my mother's.
Is that why you don't want to move there?
I've been so ill that I need Cass's help. Besides, I don't think you want slaves.
No, I don't. It's wrong. I leaned in and kissed Rose on the cheek. Still bent over, I spoke to my mother in my mind. Could we pay them? My mother sighed. I sat back in my chair.
I really don't know if we have enough money to live in that house anyway. There really hasn't been time to talk about my inheritance, because no one knows for sure that I will ever be well enough to be queen.
Mom, you always told me that we should make the best of what we have and the opportunities life places before us. I see the good you can do for your people, and I have been trying to figure out how to make you better. The book I've been reading says that I will have to eat mice. I cringed. I don't think I can do it.
It made your father sick too. You loved them when you were little. I guess I should have kept giving them to you.
Maybe then I would have figured out that Rose was my sister sooner. My mother started to cry and looked down at my sister.
She deserves to have a father. While you were sleeping, Eddie came and talked to me. They thought they found your father last night, but when they got there, the facility was vacant. He thinks someone close to us is tipping them off because they are always one step ahead. I hope they find him soon.
I frowned. I miss him too, Mom. Maybe it was true that she couldn't be healed without him. Mom, I'm going to get my book and I'll be right back. I rushed down the stairs and overheard my Aunt Cass whisper.
He's coming.
I narrowed my eyes and walked cautiously into the living room.
Look, Jack.
Cass began.
I'm sorry for going off on you. It's just that your dad slipped through our fingers again and then you brought a lower-class dragon to my home without asking first.
Lower class like the Yellow Hands?
No, he is dirt poor and filthy.
Really, then why is he in charge of the repository?
Dragons don't use them anymore. You can get everything you need on the internet.
Not everything, I said under my breath and stuck my hand into my pocket. My seer stone was in there. I rubbed my fingers over its smooth surface. From now on it was going to go everywhere with me. It was a symbol of my secret freedom. I could hardly wait to go to the repository and see Salty again.
Here, take this. I loaded an app that has all the books the repository has.
She held a phone out to me. That's doubtful, I whispered. My mother and I both had books that wouldn't be included in that app.
Eddie shouldn't have taken you to the repository.
I loved it. I narrowed my eyes at Cass. And I'm going again. I wanted to toss the stupid phone in the trash, but it was the latest model, and I had been eyeing it for a long time before I knew I was a dragon. Reluctantly, I took the phone. My aunt smiled as if she had one. She doesn't know me very well. Thank you, Aunt Cass, I said politely, but I was really thinking, I'll make sure to leave it in my room when I go to the repository. Still focused on getting my book, I rushed to my room. All my books were missing. Now I was mad. I turned around and ran into Eddie. He pulled me into a corner.
Jack, I hid your books in a chest under your bed. Cass would have lost a gasket if she knew about the green book.
He said to my mind. Did you read it? I concentrated hard so he would hear me.
I got bored watching you sleep, so yes, I read it.
Do you love Andy?
Even if I did, I wouldn't marry her.
Why?
I would lose all my gold. Your mother is stronger than any dragon I've ever met. She gave it all up for your father.
Is that why my mother said we are too poor to move into my grandmother's house?
No. All your mother has to do is claim the throne, and everything my mother owned is hers.
He let go of me.
Now don't give Aunt Cass a hard time. She knows what's best.
He said out loud.
Don't make me punish you. And get dressed, you look like a slob.
I understood what he was doing, so I played along. I'm sorry. I won't do it again. I rubbed my neck to make whoever was watching think that Eddie had been choking me. I quickly found a pair of jeans and a shirt. It only took me a minute to put them on. I saw my old hoodie in there too, so I grabbed it. At night, when I take off my shoes, I always put them under my bed. Keeps me from tripping on them when I get up at night. Besides, I'm too lazy to put them in the closet. Cass had bought me 2 pairs of tennis shoes, and I hadn't gotten completely dressed yet. My plan was to grab my book, so I pretended I was looking for my shoes. The chest was flat and had a cylinder combination lock on it. There was a sticky note next to the lock that had 4 numbers on it, 5558. I shoved the note in my pocket and tossed a shoe out from under the bed. Then I quickly arranged the numbers in the proper order. The lock opened, and I lifted the lid of the chest. All my books were in it, neatly arranged with the largest on the bottom. The Divining Poisons book was under the green book, so I took both out with some effort in the cramped space. I stuck the green book under my shirt, grabbed my shoe, and slid out from under my bed. If someone was really watching me, I would think me being under my bed would tip them off. Eddie really hadn't thought this through. I put my shoes on and headed back up to my mother's room. The rest of the afternoon I peacefully spent with my mother. It was nice to have someone to explain all things dragon to me. Still, the book told me nothing about white poisons. I learned about red and yellow poisons that affect the lungs, and that ingesting the poisons would make me immune and I would be able to see the colors clearly. Mom, I whispered, do you think I could visit the Yellow Hand clan?
I wish you could, but I'm afraid Cass would have something to say about that.
I knew then that I was talking to the wrong person. I need to talk to Eddie. My mother smiled knowingly.
Maybe you could start an exercise program to get you ready for your next test.
What test? When?
Soon. Everyone has been busy, so your second test will be after you finish your divining training.
My mother totally derailed me. Do you know what the test is?
Guardian.
What, like Eddie? He said something about that when we were coming back from the library.
Yes, it is a grueling test. Cass said they will go easy on you because of your other skill. They don't want to risk their diviner getting hurt.
I love you, Mom. I kissed her cheek and my sister's and hurried out the door. Eddie was sitting at the kitchen bar with a bowl with 2 mice in it. Hey, Eddie, I said, sitting beside him. Will you train me?
Yeah, but
He slid the mice in front of me.
Matthias told me that you don't eat mice. What good is a diviner if you can only do half of your job?
The moment I had hoped would never come was here.
These were killed with 2 common poisons. Can you smell them? They aren't coated with hot sauce, so it will be easier.
I knew from my reading it had to be that way.
I want my sister to live.
He whispered to me.
Go ahead.
With my eyes closed, I pretended that the contents in the bowl were ice cream, vanilla ice cream. They smelled strange, but I had never really smelled mice before. While I was smelling, Eddie went into the kitchen.
Frank, maybe he needs to smell a regular mouse first?
Sure.
Frank said. I heard the cupboard open and then the water run. If I kept my eyes closed, I might not vomit.
Smell these, Jack.
Eddie said. I heard the bowl slide in front of me. To see what was in front of me, I opened one eye briefly, but I could already smell the difference. It was an earthy smell. I would say almost clean. In the other bowl, I smelled peanut butter, which I thought was odd. So, what happens if I eat these?
You'll get sick, but just a little. I could inject you, but the side effects will be much worse, and we can't risk that with you.
Frank explained. What kind of poison smells like peanut butter?
That's what I mixed it with to get the mouse to eat it. One, I use chlorofascinone, and the other strychnine. Both are dangerous rat killers that can kill humans too.
I nodded my head. So, I have to eat these to complete my training?
This is only the beginning.
Frank said.
Cass has asked me to give you 2 of these daily. Each time you are exposed to a new poison, you will get more and more immune.
Breathing in, I closed my eyes and felt for the mice in the bowl.
You can do this, kid.
Eddie said reassuringly and put his big hand on my shoulder. He squeezed.
Just swallow.
The first tail I felt, I grabbed and lifted into the air. Peanut butter was all I could smell. My other hand I put in my pocket and found the stone. It felt warm as my fingers curled around it. If I could see the stone, it would be glowing. I could see the green poison inside the mouse's body. My mouth watered, not like it would if this was a big juicy piece of steak, but like it does before I puke. My throat tightened as I lifted the mouse above my mouth. Do I really have to do this? I looked at Eddie and then Uncle Frank.
It is the only way.
Eddie said. Frank nodded his head in agreement. It's not going to stay down. I opened my mouth wide. Eddie moved beside me and dropped the other mouse into my mouth. The surprise of it all had me choking on the mouse. I had no choice but to swallow it. Tasted like a wet dog smells. The worst part was the tail. It was on my tongue like a long noodle that I had to swallow whole. I could grab hold of it and pull it out, but that would have me barfing. This was going to happen. Swallow big, I thought, swallow big. I told my throat muscles to expand to let the mouse pass. This wet fur slid down my throat. I dry heaved and shook my head. It didn't come back up, probably because it was too big. That was not fair, Eddie, I moaned.
You never would have done it. I could see it on your face.
Frank spoke next.
You need to hurry and eat the next one before your muscles start to seize.
My eyes grew big. Is that what that poison does?
Yes, if you don't hurry, the effect will be worse and last longer.
I lifted the mouse again to my mouth and dropped it in and clutched the stone hard with my right hand. It wasn't as bad the second time because I knew what to expect, but I still dry heaved. Eddie helped me to the couch. I pulled the stone out of my pocket and concentrated. Every muscle in my body is tightening. I screamed as my back arched. It was so painful. Somewhere in my mind, I could see the poison as it passed from my stomach into my blood. This green vapor trail allowed me to follow it. I haven't learned about green poisons yet, I gasped. The stone showed me a path I could take. Glowing bright red and hot. Now, I remember red was for absorption. I thought and put my hands together with the stone in the middle. Concentrating hard, I pulled the poison out of my body into my seer stone. Slowly my muscles began to relax, but not for long. The second mouse had a different color coming from it. Yellow was easy, it needed to be diluted, but unlike green, it couldn't be absorbed by my stone. I need a drink of water, I gasped. This poison affected my digestive tract, leaving its yellow tinge as it moved quickly to my intestines. It was going to come out of me fast. I need to go to the bathroom, I said and rolled off the couch.
I'll help you.
Eddie offered and put his big arm around me.
There is a bathroom near the stairs.
It was small, but Eddie squeezed in and helped me to sit. Please leave, I said, shoving him away.
I'll be just outside the door if you need help.
He looked apologetically at me as he shut the door. Frank shoved a cup half filled with water in the door just before it was closed. I took it and chugged the whole thing. I was close enough to the sink to fill it again. After 4 cups of water, I was able to rid myself of the poison. With the aid of my seer stone, I willed my body to be healed. My muscles glowed green and then white as I focused on them. Next, I focused on the yellow glow until it was white as well. I could feel myself getting better every second. The stone's glow swirled green as if it were recording the poison within it, or was it trapped inside? I didn't know which. I knew instinctively that I would automatically be able to take it from any body. I really need to finish that book? I breathed to myself. Eddie heard me.
Jack, are you okay?
Yeah, I'll be out in a minute.
Fire and brimstone spin around you.